The O'Reilly Factor is on tonight.
Women make up about half our workforce, but they still make 77 cents for every dollar a man earns. That is wrong. It's an embarrassment.
But that may not be true, at least according to analysis from a bunch of different groups. We'll tell you what's really going on in the gender salary controversy.
She woke up in the middle of the night. They saw this shadowy figure pacing back and forth.
Is it possible that a child was possessed in Indiana? The state's largest newspaper is reporting the story, and a police captain believes it. We'll have an update tonight.
Can we just do maybe an interview with one?
Also this evening, the stuff Jesse Waters does not want you to see. Outtakes from Waters' World.
Jesse Walters! Woo!
Caution, you are about to enter the no-spin zone. Factor begins right now. Hi, I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks for watching us tonight. President Obama and his favorite students. That is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. The president's address last night was heavy on grievance, that is discussing Americans who are not doing as well as other Americans. The president is promising to fix that. It's almost like he's a teacher with favorite students. Last night, American women fell into that category. As you may know, the president wants more income fairness. He wants to lessen the gap between rich Americans and working Americans. Now, that's a noble goal if it comes about in the private marketplace. But an imposition into private earnings by the feds goes directly against our capitalistic system. Nevertheless, the president and the Democratic Party have targeted American women as a group that needs help.
Women make up about half our workforce, but they still make 77 cents for every dollar a man earns. That is wrong. And in 2014, it's an embarrassment. Women deserve equal pay for equal work. It is time to do away with workplace policies that belong in a Mad Men episode.
But that's not exactly the case. Here are the facts. In 1963, the Equal Pay Act was passed into law so the feds can punish any American employer who discriminates against women in the pay arena. As for the 77% number the president puts out there, analysis shows that American women are really making about 91 cents on the dollar compared to what men earn. Last August, the website Slate had an interesting analysis of the man-woman salary controversy, and it is worth reading. The article pointed out that men are more often in unions where the wage is guaranteed, and they tend to go into higher-paying professions. Also, American men work more hours than American women. So all in all, if you examine the facts, we really don't have a gender salary discrepancy in this country. But President Obama well knows that he and the Democrats badly need women to come back into the tent. With his job approval rating hovering around 40%, he has to mobilize the base who elected him. And women broke for Obama by 11 percentage points over Romney last time around. Talking Points is here to set all the records straight. And we believe the war on women's stuff is a political ruse, generally speaking. No system is perfect, but the American capitalistic marketplace provides opportunity for just about everyone who gets educated and is willing to work hard. And one more note about last night's address. The Republican Party should really wise up and stop opposing raising the minimum wage. It should be $10 an hour. If an adult American is willing to work, $10 is fair. But I would have a lower wage scale for teenagers just beginning their workforce experience. Remember, if a worker is no good, management can fire the person. But if a worker is good, come on. $10 an hour, babysitters get that. The GOP needs to stop working against working people. $10 an hour should be the law of the land. And that's a memo. Now, for the top story tonight, reaction joining us from Washington, Republican Kate Obenshain and Democrat Kirsten Powers. So what say you about gender economics powers?
Well, I have to say people should mark their calendars. Today is the day. I think we are going to agree on everything, Bill. At least I agreed with everything that you just said. And what's interesting about the Slate article is that it was written by Hannah Rosen, who is a feminist. And she is the one who's arguing that the numbers that the president is using are completely skewed. You know, that the way that it's being described is actually not quite accurate, that it's a much more complicated picture for why women are making less money. So I think you're right that the president is sort of cynically doing this to, excite the base, the women's base.
What do you think about that?
You know, I don't like it. I mean, I have never been a big fan of the war on women because I think it's a sort of cynical way to try to exploit women's fears. And I think this is the perfect example of it, that this is not. Now, look, 91 cents on the dollar still isn't okay. It should be. We should make the same amount of money.
It can't be perfect parity with the.
Yeah.
Listen, let me give you an example, and then Kate can address this. Basketball players, all right, men basketball players in the NBA make astronomical salaries, okay? But women basketball players in their professional league do not. And that is because more people in television contracts go to the men than the women. So you never, unless you want to be in Cuba, unless you want to go see como está usted, okay, you can't have perfect wage parity in a capitalistic system. Go, Kate.
Right. Well, the 91% is actually pretty
good.
Pretty good. It is pretty good. And look, what the more radical feminists don't want to acknowledge is that the reason it's 91% is that women make different choices, and that's something that should be honored. A lot decide that they want part-time work. A lot decide that they want to stay at home with their kids. Or they just, they get out of the workforce for a certain period of time. That results in the disproportionate number of hours worked. But when you take out married and parents, when you put together the childless, unmarried individuals, women make more. 20 to 30-year-old women make more. So look, we are so far ahead of a lot of other countries, but we need to acknowledge making choices, different choices. It's not a social
Everybody's
problem. It's something that we should
lives are
honor.
different. Everybody has a different skill set,
Right.
But there is a law, Powers, a law on the books, so that if you, Kirsten Powers, are not making as much money as someone doing exactly the same job, and I don't know how that's possible because you're so brilliant, I don't know anybody could really go up to that standard. But say there was a man as smart as you, all right? This is a hypothetical, it'll never be true. And you were getting less pay. The feds can raid the Fox News channel and put into cuffs.
Hey, don't give them ideas, Bill.
Okay, and you know that law is on the books, and you know they can do it.
Yeah.
So what's the beef?
Well, I think that people could still discriminate because how are you really going to find out what someone else is making?
You file a claim, and they have to, in a deposition, show it.
Yeah, but you would have to have a reason to. I mean, what am I going to go around the office and demand that people tell me how much they pay?
What you don't know won't hurt you. All right, Kate.
Well, what the Democrats want to do right now, what Obama wants.
I got a question for you.
Okay.
This minimum wage madness. I mean, when are these pinheads in the Republican Party going to wise up? When?
Okay.
All right.
Well,
this is insane. All right.
No,
$10 an
Bill.
hour for someone who wants to work and does a good job. It's not too much money in any part of the United States, from Homer, Alaska to Key West, Florida. You make an exception for the kids trying to break in, the teenagers, the students. Right? But the Republican Party putting themselves on the wrong side of economic issues, this is a simple issue. Everybody can understand it. Even the people at MSNBC can understand this. All right? That's how simple it is. Go.
They agree with you, Bill. I don't think that they're on the right side of the issue. I think economic freedom, letting the market decide. I'm glad that you you're taking on the imperialistic, elitist, leftist position here, telling
I'm taking on the working class position.
Shop that they
I worked for minimum wage when I was a kid at Carvel. $1.30 an hour. That's what I got. Okay.
You're going to destroy some.
$10 an hour, and that was way back in the Stone Age. They didn't have cars then.
That's okay.
What?
They actually have to bring in more money. They have to bring in more money in order to pay these employees. The problem is
$10
the guys at the lowest.
Come on.
Let me finish. The guys at the lowest rung are the ones who are going to lose their jobs. They're not going to get the foot in the door. The entry level jobs.
That's so much
Bill,
propaganda. There isn't. There are very few businesses that can't afford that to get productive workers.
Open the free market.
Not baloney. It's just baloney.
It's
They're
not
on the wrong
baloney.
side of it.
It is the free market. market. You're totally on the wrong side. You're the social engineer at this point, Bill. It's wrong.
I know. I want a fair
Let the market
wage.
decide. You're going to get rid of these jobs for the people who need them the most right now.
If your guys keep doing this, the next election they'll win will be 80 years from now. They need to wise up.
Because they believe that individual business owners should be able to set their own salaries.
No,
What, are you going to
there's
start
got to be a minimum wage or there'll be exploitation.
Salaries so that decide how much mortgage brokers can make, how much car salesmen can make. That's what we're headed toward with this sort of social engineering and decide what the market can bear. Let the private sector determine that.
All right. Take a deep breath. You're way, way off in the deep end of the pool. This is just the minimum wage of the land. It should be $10.
Get the government out of the way.
I'm out of here.
We'll have
you
more
got to
jobs.
have standards or there will be exploitation. Ladies, thank you. One footnote. Last night I predicted the factor might beat the State of the Union address in the ratings here on FNC. We did not, but we didn't lose by all that much. And as usual, we dominated the cable news ratings in the 8 p.m. hours, thanks to you. Next on the rundown, behind-the-scenes reaction to the president's speech. Cameron and Rosen have it for us. Later, Miller on possible candidates to run against Hillary Clinton. Fact is coming right back.